State of New York, Kathy Hochul.
Good morning, everyone. All right, what a beautiful day to be in the North Country. My name is Marie-Therese Dominguez. I have the great pleasure and honor of serving as the Commissioner of the New York State Department of Transportation. Welcome. I have to say, thank you. It's incredibly special to be in Watertown for this event today. I want to take a minute and introduce some of our incredibly special guests who've joined us today. First and foremost, Lewis County Chairman Larry Dolhoff. Larry? Mr. Chairman? Supervisor of the Town of Hounsfield, Beth Arthur. The City of Watertown Mayor, Sarah Campo-Pierce. Thank you, Mayor. Harriet's Town Supervisor, Dan Malik. Dan? Excuse me, Jordana. I'm sorry, Jordana. And the City of Ogdensburg Mayor, Michael Tooley. And our North Country REDC co-chairs, James McKenna and Dr. Catherine Morris. And I'd also like to acknowledge Governor Ron McDougall. Ron, thank you. It's always a good day when you can be inside of an airplane hangar because it means exciting things are happening. So today we're celebrating the beginning of a new era in air travel here in the North Country. Our great Governor, Kathy Hochul, recognizes the vital role that airports play in the health and well-being of our upstate communities. Not only do they help us connect to the people and the places that we all cherish and we want to travel to, but they also act as the front door. Fundamentally, that front door, that gateway that welcomes new visitors and new opportunities for economic growth. Airports are the economic engines that help create jobs and create prosperity. That's why it's imperative that we make them as convenient and passenger-friendly as possible. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and this is our opportunity to make Watertown first impression a beautiful one. Thankfully, nobody understands that better than our Governor, Kathy Hochul. She understands the criticality of investing in transportation infrastructure, whether it's roads and bridges or airports. She understands and is spearheading some of the most transformative infrastructure in this country. And certainly, this upstate airport economic development and revitalization competition is a very, very great example of that. It's helping upstate airports become modern travel centers that are ready for the challenges of the 21st century. So, this new investment in the Watertown Airport is going to provide a more pleasurable travel experience for the many dedicated servicemen and women who literally work in and out of Fort Drum and often use this airport. I know that Governor Hochul is a staunch advocate for our military, and she understands how important it is that we do everything we can to make life easier for our servicemen and women serving at Fort Drum and around the world. That's why it's so important that we do this project, that and serving the members of the North Country. With the improvements that we're making here at Watertown Airport taking shape, we also have opportunities with the Upstate Airport competition to invest in Ogdensburg Airport and the Adirondack Regional Airport, all investments in the North Country. The bottom line is the North Country is on the cusp of a generational change in how people travel to and from this area. And it's all because of the investment that we're seeing out of this administration under Governor Kathy Hochul. So thank you so very much, Governor Hochul. Greatly appreciate it. These 3 airports that I just mentioned, Ogdensburg, Adirondack, and certainly here in Watertown, they're about to become beacons of pride and the drivers of prosperity for generations to come. I just want to thank again Governor Hochul for her leadership in making all this happen. So, without further ado, let me introduce our great governor, Kathy Hochul. Thank you so much, Governor.
Wow, this looks fabulous. What a great day here in the North Country. First of all, it's pretty cool to live in a place called its own country, right? Everywhere else in the state, we call it like the Southern Tier region, the Hudson Valley region. You have your own country, so I just wanted to know how impressive that is to me. I've been here so many times. I cherish this part of our state. It's people, it's places, it's attractions, but also the strong sense of patriotism that is steeped in our DNA here. And as a member of the House Armed Services Committee in Congress, I was fighting for this base to make sure that they kept their hands off, that they understood how critical this was, not just for us and our economy, not just for our reputation here, but also for our national security. So I had many conversations also as Lieutenant Governor, coming here and welcoming home individuals, saying goodbye to them as we saw families separated. But this is a place that I really, really think is special and we have to continue to protect. And I think about the fact, you know, in the dead of winter, it seems like a long way off, but we used to be known for our winter storms here. Now we're getting a reputation for our summer storms, which I hope doesn't last too long, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But in the middle of winter, it's not unusual to have a soldier returning through Fort Drum, greeted by a spouse and a child, and trying to be bundled up in the middle of winter, going off to wherever their home is if they don't live here. The reason they're bundled up in cold is that they're trying to board a plane outside, right? That is the image. This is what we do when we welcome home our heroes. We put them out in the cold and say, sorry, this is your welcome home. We can do better than that, my friends. That's just one example of what this transformation will do for this community, and I'm so excited about it. Right now, there's no jet bridge. The space is cramped, and these American heroes and their families are literally left out in the cold. So I'm here today to say that I believe in these individuals. I believe we should honor their service every single day of our lives. We owe our freedom to them, and that their families in this region truly deserve better. So today, I want to acknowledge the people who have helped bring us to this place. We have a very ambitious Commissioner of DOT. She and I have been shoulder to shoulder on so many important initiatives like this, but also they're in a time of crisis. And I have seen what leadership looks like. We were just down in Steuben County, hugging families whose homes were washed away. People literally escaped with their lives. We came up here, she spent time in Lowville. I was just up in Canton. We're here today to talk to our local officials about what we can do to be their partners. But I want to thank Commissioner Dominguez for her incredible work and the fact that she has over 200 DOT members working around the clock to bring back our roads that were damaged just over the weekend. Let's give her another round of applause. We have 2 assembly members here that I work closely with. And you don't always expect to hear that from a member of a different party, right? But you know, when it comes down to taking care of our people, the party labels don't matter. I had the chance to work with Scott Gray when he was in local government. You know, we were talking about promoting tourism and hosting tourism roundtables after this area was battered during the pandemic. Just walking the downtowns and trying to say, come on back, we're going to be okay now. And we went through a lot of challenges together, and be able to partner with him and in the assembly now is really an honor of mine. So let's give a round of applause to our assembly member, Scott Gray. Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush, we've done a lot together. He reminded me we were in a Humvee together. We've toured this site together a number of times, and I know how important this is to him and his constituents. But also, he was also the person who first introduced me to the Maple Museum. And we had the best time there, having a chance to sample everything you could possibly dream of that's made with maple. Maple beer, maple wine, maple cheesecake. It was really good. So I want to thank you for how well you represent your area and how passionate you are about the people you serve. Let's give him a round of applause, our Assemblyman Ken Blankenbush. As you know, our Senator Walczyk, is still on deployment. Talk about American heroes. You know, he would be here, but he's out there serving not just his constituents, but serving our nation. And I want to give that a round of applause because we should never take for granted people who are putting themselves in harm's way. Bill Johnson, the chair of the county legislature, chairman of Jefferson County, I want to thank him. We've worked closely together, and all the Jefferson County Board of Legislators and all the elected officials. I think we may have overlooked our Mayor Mike of Waddington. Where are you, Mayor? Okay, I think we listed some. Oh, is he here? Right, Mayor. I named you Mayor Mike. Oh, over there. Okay, there you are. Okay. Hope all things are going well in Waddington. I was up there for some incredible fishing tournaments. All going well up there? All right, great to see you. Great to see you. You know, today we're breaking ground on the largest expansion for the Watertown International Airport since its inception in 1928. That's a long time without major investment, 1928. Assemblyman Blankenbush actually told me he was here at the beginning. I said, I don't think you were. I think he meant when it was transferred to the county 18 years ago. I said, no, you were not here at the beginning. I'm not going to accept that. So this project is going to elevate the passenger experience for anyone who travels through Watertown. Whether you're stationed at Fort Drum or escaping to Thousand Islands, where you may or not know this, but one of the reasons I'm so gutsy and I'm such a risk taker is my parents would let us jump off the cliffs at Wellesley Island State Park when we camped there every summer. We were very unattended children. We took the boats out by ourselves, sometimes escaping in a boat, just paddling, and all of a sudden we're out in the river, and there's a major cargo ship coming, just about to swamp us and knock us over. So I got this whole sense of adventure and excitement and loving this area just as a child. This was where you escaped. We didn't have a lot of money. We'd pile into a station wagon, and 8 of us would just cook out by the fires. And that's a tradition I started with my children when they were preschoolers, loading them up, bringing them up to Wellesley Island, because I wanted them to enjoy the kind of childhood that I was so blessed to have. So it's been great. And I think about areas like this that sometimes feel like they've been overlooked. You know, a lot of attention, other parts of our state is the perception, right? I hear that a lot. Just remember this. I'm the first governor from upstate New York in over 100 years. I know this area. I know the people. I know the places. And I know how hard people work. The small businesses. I think about Ruth and all the work that Jim does with the entire North Country, trying to help these small communities that are just oozing charm. I mean, they are so unique. Every one of them has such personality and have beautiful waterways like the rivers we have for whitewater rafting. I love whitewater rafting. And the St. Lawrence. It's extraordinary. You know, you go over to Clayton, the boat museum. It's amazing what we have up here. But it's been sad because a lot of businesses have left. Legacy industries have left. And I want people to know I believe in this area. And a region, in order to attract businesses and the jobs that come with them, which is what I'm all about, requires a modern, state-of-the-art airport. It just does. Businesses looking all over the country are going to judge us by the welcome they get when they land or have a chance to see how their customers are going to be brought here. And if we can make the expansions occur here, we can open up more opportunities for more flights to come in and out of here. That's what has been holding us back. We have flights to Philadelphia every day. Great city. We don't need to go there every day. I need people from other places to be able to come and go right from here. And that's how you get a catalyst to bring people up here who want a vacation but don't want to have the long drive. Someone who wants to start a business here. This is how we're going to do it. And when an airport is outdated and run down, it sends a message that we're not first rate. And I can't have that happen because that can hurt the psyche of a community, a confidence that we should all have, the pride that should be there. But when you do have a welcoming world-class hub like the one we're building here, it sends a very different message. that we take pride in our infrastructure and how we present ourselves to the world. So I say this area, Watertown, the whole region, they really punch above their weight here. They have so much to offer. And I want to make sure that we can attract more people here. And I'll also say this. A lot of people discovered the North Country on April 8th. Remember April 8th? The eclipse? Now, it was as good as we were going to get. I mean, I was watching too. There were a few more clouds than I would have liked to have seen. But it drew people here. It was a chance for us to promote that we launched months and months in advance. The North Country attractions, so people, when they came here, would stay. I believe that many will come back after that day when their jaws dropped at the natural beauty up here that I think we should continue to capitalize on. So knowing all this, knowing that businesses want places to bring their opportunities, it's still an affordable quality of life here that is unmatched in other parts of our state and country. That's why $230 million investment to help all of our upstate airports modernize, and more than $54 million for 3 airports right here in the North Country. $54 million right here in the North Country. No governor has ever made that investment because no governor has ever understood the full potential of these airports. So, you can give that a round of applause. So the $28 million we're putting into the Watertown International Airport is by far the largest state grant ever given to this airport. And what it's going to do, we have incredible pictures here. 25,000 square foot terminal with a new lobby, expanded ticketing, baggage claim spaces. And for those cold families coming here in the wintertime, we're adding a jet bridge and upgrading the waiting areas, which I mentioned is long overdue. Because as I said, no one who has served our country should be left standing there waiting in the rain or snow. We can do better, we will do better, and that is our promise. So, as of today, all 9 projects in the state are underway. We have official construction starting today on the Adirondack Regional Airport. That'll bring people to Saranac Lake and Lake Placid and Tupper Lake, all those areas. Up at Ogdensburg, we've been working there since March. That'll be done in the spring. And these airport expansions are really the centerpiece of our efforts to stimulate the economy here in the North Country region. So Jefferson County, Lewis County, we're doing so much. We're also focused on job training for transitioning Fort Drum soldiers. It makes all the sense in the world. Their families have been in here. The kids are in school. When they come back from their deployment, why do they have to pack up and go somewhere else? Let's make it easier for them to stay, they and their spouses. So a job training program for them. So instead of leaving town, they'll stay here. They can build their lives here and help us grow our population. So many important jobs. Unlocking the potential of this area, it's incredible. We also invested $8.6 million to revamp the waterfront in Clayton. I walked those streets. I walked in the basements. I helped them bail out water in a restaurant I always went to. It was tragic to see the flooding that took over that community not long ago. $8.6 million to help there as well. Lowville, not far from here, another $10 million to help them with the DRI. So they can tell us their vision for their future that we will fund. And also $4.5 million in New York Forward funding. This is something I started because not every community that applies for a DRI, Downtown Revitalization Initiative, has enough projects to justify $10 million. So they're being left on the sidelines. I said, no, let's think about the smaller communities. $4.5 million for a small community, that's a game changer. I know, I represented small communities. So we're $4.5 million to help fund exciting projects in Alex Bay, and that leverages private investment as well. So I'm just excited. As you can tell, I love being here, and just to see the momentum that's building here in the North Country. As I mentioned, there are people who visited once. There'll be many, many repeat offenders, not repeat offenders. Repeat offenders can stay away. Repeat visitors. And I just want to say, this is a really special day when we cut the ribbons the next summer. And I said, are we really going to be done next summer? Commissioner, say it again. Yes, she said yes. She will hold the contractors and everybody. Any contractors here? You should not be here. You should be out there working, okay? That's my view, because we're going to hold you to it. I want this open next summer. I cannot wait to come back for the ribbon cutting and show that the North Country truly is taking flight. Thank you, everyone. Let me introduce our next speaker, one of our great North Country partners, Jefferson County Chair Bill Johnson. Mr. Johnson, come on up.
Thank you, Governor Hochul and Commissioner Dominguez. Over the last 18 years, my colleagues on the Jefferson County Board of Legislators have recognized the importance of investing in the Watertown International Airport. Together with our state and federal partners, we recognize that this facility is the gateway to our community, and in many cases, gateway to the North Country region. Access to safe and reliable transportation is critical to the economic growth of our region, and as the governor knows, this airport is particularly important to our soldiers and their families who come across the country to serve here in the 10th Mountain Division at Fort Drum. A modern, safe, and comfortable facility eases the burdens of our soldiers and their families and enhances our capabilities as a defense community. We are grateful for the state's continued support of our community airport, and we are hopeful that this valuable partnership with the governor continues through the project and well into the future. Governor, thank you again for your support of our community. Your plane is always welcome here in Jefferson County, and of course, we're always happy to fill some fuel in as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's event. Thank you very much for joining us today.